Everyone, it's Kayla again, and today I wanted to give you 5 different ways to make intermittent fasting easier. I know that when you're starting out, or even if you're just considering intermittent fasting, you may think, well, that's going to be really, really hard. And, it is a very simple plan, but some people look at it as being a difficult plan. And so I really don't think it was hard. It's actually very easy for me to stick with over the long term. But I just wanted to give, some things that I learned along the way, and hopefully that'll help you out if this is something you're going to try. So tip number 1 is gradually lengthen the time between your meals. You may want to start out with a relatively short fast, like maybe 8-hour fast, for example. That just means that you at least put 8 hours in between your last meal and then the next time you eat. And then, bump it up to 10 hours and then 12 hours. The point is, gradually lengthening that time because, a lot of people do experience like nausea or, I definitely experienced some nausea at first. Like when I would go too long between meals, I'd be like, I just don't feel very good. So I learned though that if I was really, really gradual with it, then you didn't even feel the effects because you're just being patient with it. So be patient, gradually lengthen out the time. Tip number 2, stay busy. Don't sit around and think about food. That's the worst thing you can do. It will make it so difficult. If you just sit there and think, I'm hungry or I want to eat or whatever, you're going to fail, quite frankly. What I noticed was I just had to get up and do something, which the walking 6 miles a day really helped with that because it gave me something to do. Like if I sat there and I thought, well, I'm bored, I think, well, you got to get steps in. So I would go get steps in. But I learned a lot of other stuff too because I had more free time because I wasn't eating. I learned American Sign Language, or I'm still learning it, but I listen to a lot of different podcasts. I've done more of the hobbies that I like to do, like, drawing and everything. So find some hobbies, do other things with your hands besides eat, basically. So just keep busy. Tip number 3, drink coffee during the day, or, some other sort of beverage, preferably probably that doesn't have any sugar in it. I don't know because I didn't do a whole lot with like sugar beverages, so I don't know. But I know for me, I drink coffee and I do have half and half in it. But so there's no real sugar in that. But there are some calories. So I've found that I'm fine drinking, 3 cups of coffee a day, and I still have lost the weight. But certainly, especially when I was first starting out, it was very helpful to have like that thing during the day where I was like, if I was starting to feel hungry, then to have that, the coffee, it was like just enough to make the hunger go away without, feeling other effects and without gaining weight. So, okay, tip number 4, make sure you eat enough. This plan is actually really, really easy to stick to for me. And the reason for it is that I can eat whatever I want at that 1 meal a day. But there was some tweaking that I had to do to try to find that sweet spot between when I was actually losing weight and when I was feeling, if I felt nauseous and stuff in between meals. So if you feel nauseous, or if you feel like you've got a headache all the time, or if you aren't sleeping well at night, those were the 3 things that I found that showed me, hey, you need to eat more at your meal. So that's what worked for me. And tip number 5, being consistent. So to me, the thing that made this plan very easy was to be consistent both with the time of day that I was eating and the cheat day being the same. So I try to eat about 6:30 every night, and your body does get used to it. I've certainly found that my body, when I'm used to this plan, like I don't get hungry until about 6:30 every evening because I've trained my body. That's when we're going to eat. And then keeping the cheat day is also important to me because if you try to change the day around and you try to change the meal around, then you just kind of end up never really doing the plan. So to me, it was just the easiest just to stay consistent with the time of day that I eat and then my cheat day for the week. Okay, so let's recap. Number 1, be gradual. Number 2, stay busy. Don't sit around and think about food all day. Number 3, drink coffee. Number 4, make sure you're eating enough. And number 5, Be consistent. So I hope those 5 tips helped. Those are the 5 most helpful things I can think of. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks.